Good morning friends and welcome to the pre-market view. US markets were extremely positive on Friday, with Dow was up almost up 0.4% and Nasdaq and S&P too were up 0.36 to almost about 0.45%. S&P continues to trade at a record high, and the main trigger for this up move was the results announced by Amazon and Microsoft, which were both better than market expectations, and the 10-year bond yields also continue to remain around about 2.5253 levels, which is definitely helping the overall flow situation. European markets were almost about flat. The DAX was marginally up and the France index was marginally down. The UK Q3 GDP came in at about 0.7%, which was better than market expectations. However, the German data points were not so positive, so no major really action in the European markets as such. And when we look at the Asian markets today morning, most of them are up about 0.5% to almost about 1%. Nikkei in particular is extremely strong with 1% kind of a gain, and even Hang Seng and most of the other Asian markets are up about 0.5%, and even SGX Nifty is suggesting that we are going to open up about 35 to 40 points higher, somewhere close to about 6180 to about 6200 level. In terms of flows, friends, FIs were net buyers in the cash market to the tune of almost about 627 crore. The domestic institutions were sellers to the tune of about 500 odd crore, and in the index futures we have seen FIs selling to the tune of about 255 crore. Back home, for the last 2 or 3 days, the market has been giving a pause around 6150 odd levels. The good part is that it's holding out 6130, 6150 levels extremely well, and the flows continues to be good, and we have a very strong global backdrop. So overall bias for the market as we approach expiry continues to be positive. On that note, let me invite Sadhna to take us through important F&O cues, data and ideas that we could have in the F&O space.
Good morning friends, let's have a view on derivatives. From past couple of trading sessions, we have seen that continuous reduction in premium and additions in open interest indicating short positions are being created by market participants. And in yesterday's trade also we have seen that 5.94 lakh shares were added in open interest and premium decreased from 9 points to 6.65 odd levels. And along with FIs were net sellers of approximately 1080 crores. Put call ratio decreased from 1.23 to 1.20, indicating call option has added more number of shares than put option, as we have seen that call option has added around 18 lakh shares in open interest, whereas put option has added only around 2 lakh shares in open interest. It is clearly visible in the options activity, as we see 6100, 6000 and 5900 put option has seen a good activity, and on higher side 6200 call option has seen a good activity. So we may find support at 6100 level on closing basis, and from intraday perspective one can go long on Tata Global with a stop loss of 161.40. Thank you.
Here are the important news and events that we are tracking today. First of all, Maruti would be reporting its second quarter number. We are looking at a net profit of about 548 crore. This quarter has been quite difficult for most of the auto companies, so these numbers are going to be a bit soft, so watch out for the numbers. And Dabur India, we are looking at a net profit of about 236 crore. Actual came out with their numbers for the quarter, and it was better than market expectations. The top line grew by almost about 9.6%, and the net profit growth was almost about 13.2%. and the volume growth was about 5%, which was better than market expectations. So despite increase in the A&P spends, the profit before interest and tax grew almost about 11%. So expect some positive action in the HUL stock in today's market, and that's why we are putting out a buy call that one can go long on HUL with a stop loss of 582 and a target of about 612 to about 623. GAIL India has entered into a memorandum of understanding with Paradip Port Trust for setting up the offshore LNG terminal, and India Infoline, which is one of the largest retail broking companies, has decided to shut its retail broking unit as the overall volume and the business continues to be sluggish. And in terms of overall contribution, it's hardly about 6%, so they have decided to focus more on the NBFC and the gold loan and the institutional broking. NHPC is looking at doing a buyback close to about 2000 crore, and this would be about 10% of the total equity. The price is going to be around 19.25, so watch out for some positive action in the NHPC stock in today's market. Jet Airways, some positive news is the company has got the lion's share of increased seat allocations to Abu Dhabi. They've got an allocation of almost about 44.8%. So one can go long there with a stop loss of 340 rupees and a target of about 357 to about 364. Bharti Infratel is likely to report its number today, and these numbers are going to be much better than market expectations. And also in one of the MSCI indices, this stock could be introduced or could actually make its way. So one can go long on Bharti Infratel with a stop loss of 154 and a target of about 162 to about 165. That's it from all of us, friends. Have a good trading session and see you tomorrow at the same time.